go in your phones and find a Bible app or something. But if you did bring a Bible, please open to 1 Peter chapter 4. And we are going to read a passage which I believe it encapsulates probably one of the most important things that we as leaders of the church can do. If we get this one thing right, then a lot of the other stuff will fall into place. This is so important. And we're going to talk about 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 10. And I'm just going to read for the sake of the audio because we are recording this. And I'm going to read. Let's read together 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 10. It says, "The end of all things is near. Therefore be alert and of sober mind, so that you may pray. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality, or be hospitable, to one another without grumbling. Each one of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms." Now, the first thing, I love this concept of, in verse 8, where it talks about, above all, like the end is near. Christ could come back for his church at any moment. That's what Peter's saying. The end is near. It could happen anytime. So, we should be very intensely doing what? Loving on people. Above all things, the most important thing you could do is love one another, because love covers a multitude of sins. And Lord knows we're a church full of sinners. So we need that love to cover those multitude of sins, don't we? Now, but the point that which I brought you to 1 Peter chapter 4 is in the next verse. In verse 9, it says, "Be hospitable to one another without grumbling." Now, this idea of being hospitable is a very interesting term. Like, if you were to think of, like, what businesses, what groups of people kind of like corner the market in what we would call hospitality in the world, what would we think? What names come to mind? Hotels, Disney, Chick-fil-A. Okay, yeah. How may I serve you? Yeah, all that stuff, right? So those names, we understand, they write books on hospitality. They have seminars. You can go all kinds of, it's a big thing. But as much as we love Chick-fil-A, as much as we love them, as much as some people, I'm not a Disney guy, but some people just love, raise your hand if you love Disney. Okay, we got a few. All right. So if you love Disney, as much as we love these places, as much as we feel welcomed and warmed and hospitable, how may I serve you, all that, what's behind the scenes as a motivator for any of those? Right? Now, in my opinion, the church should be the one writing the book on hospitality. Okay, because this is not, and some people say, oh, maybe you have the gift of hospitality. And there's some people that are better at it than others. But according to this, it's actually a command. Be hospitable. It's not an option. We're supposed to be hospitable to one another. And it's without grumbling. Because in this context, we think about when this was written. This isn't written in a Christian nation where, in God we trust is our national motto and all that. This was written in a country, in a place and time where Christianity was illegal. And so church didn't happen in a warehouse or in this big ornate building. It happened in people's living rooms. And it was typically in quiet and secret, because you might be the next one being drug out to the Colosseum and executed or crucified or whatever for publicly proclaiming your Christian faith. So now what happens? We have our secret little church gathering of 15 or 20 or 30 people, and then there's a knock on the door. We go and open the door. Hi, can we help you? Yeah, is this where the church is meeting? What now? Oh, yeah, I'm from, Smyrna. And, I'm on a road trip, and I heard there was a gathering here, and I just wanted to know if I could participate. Now, you got a big choice to make, because you can either Invite them in and say, absolutely, come on in. We are so glad you're here. We're going to share the word of God today, and we're so happy you're here. Or, I wonder if this is a spy. I wonder if this is a plant. Somebody's being brought into, and we might all be persecuted because of what's about to take place. Here's what Peter's saying. Be hospitable to one another without grumbling. And this didn't just mean say hi as they're coming into the church door. Here, open the door for you. Hey, welcome to church. Have a nice week. Enjoy service. No, that's not what it's talking about. Probably means feed this person, because this person's on a journey. It probably actually means house this person. Like, you know, how many people think, well, I got my church life, but man, I got to make sure I keep my home life separate because that's my little sanctuary and whatnot. I got news for you. Peter blows that out of the water. Your home life and church life are the same. You got to be the same person inside a church as we are outside a church. If I'm inside a church and I'm opening the doors, yeah, come on in. But, you know, when the door knocks and Saturday morning, it's like, guys, turn the lights off. Shh. No. Hospitality. This is a very, very special thing. Now, first Greek word of the day, to be hospitable, the word is, in the original, in the Greek language, is philoxenoi. Everybody say philoxenoi. Philoxenoi. We're going to have some fun with this, all right? So if you want to like jive with Pastor Dave, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about what does it mean to have this hospitality, be hospitable to one another, okay? And let's break this word down, because within the context of this word, we're going to find some very interesting dynamics that can help us understand what Peter was talking about, all right? The prefix of the word is phileo, right? So phileo is to have what? Brotherly love, right? It's to have a love of a brother. Think about the person from your past. Maybe it's a brother or sister. Maybe it's a cousin. Maybe it's your neighborhood friend. Maybe it's the person you went to high school with, that you used to have sleepovers with as a kid, whatever. Somebody that you're very fond of because of past experiences. You've built relational equity with that person. And then years go by, you haven't seen that person, and all of a sudden, the knock on the door comes. You're like, oh gosh, hope it's not the Jehovah's Witness. And you open it up, and it's your long lost cousin or brother or neighbor or whatever. Oh, Dave, I haven't seen you forever. Oh man, like what's that feeling that you have in your heart when you haven't seen that person that you really genuinely love for a long time? That feeling is phileo. That feeling you have inside of your heart is phileo. Okay? So now keep that picture in mind. What's xenoi? This is the fun part. Xenoi means a stranger. How do we have this brotherly love, this love of deep, usually relational equity that's been built for somebody that you've never met before? How do you do that? That's tough. Okay, so when it says be hospitable one to another without grumbling, that means, Christian, treat this person as though they're your long lost brother. And so right now, we're going to practice this. Okay? I want everybody to stand up. We're going to have some fun. And I want everybody to find a stranger. Pick somebody in the room that you've never met before. Oh, she can't help herself. She's already going. That's great. She's energetic about philoxenoi, all right? Find a stranger, somebody you've never met, and for the next 5 minutes, find out as much about that person as you possibly can. Find out how to pray for that person, and commit for the next week to pray for an upcoming leader of the church. Find a new brother or sister. And if you're like, oh, everybody's paired up and whatever, it seems weird, you can do 3. 3 is fine, right? So, all right, philoxenoi, 5 minutes, go. All right, guys, let's find our seats again. Got to get back to our program here. I love this because every year you turn leaders loose on loving each other and they just can't stop. They just keep going. I love that. I love our church. Our leaders just can't stop. It's fantastic. Yes. Yes, good job, guys. You just
we're gonna go to meeting room 1.
Yeah. That's great. No, that's fantastic, guys. Now, question: doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel right? How come it is so regular though for us to, when we walk into a public space and there's strangers, especially in the church, that we're so quick to just not engage? Our natural human response to a stranger is to not engage. And there's a lot of reasons for that. There might be insecurities on my part. There might be insecurities on their part. There might be differences. There's a million reasons why. But I think the biggest reason is that we're just lazy. We're just lazy. And if we expect other people to be the ones to do that, then we're probably not going to wind up doing that. So we should be the ones, especially you put an elder or deacon badge on. Imagine if we had a church full of people that as soon as they see a stranger come in, as soon as they see somebody come in that they've never met before, that you go and just say, hey, my name's David. What's your name? I haven't seen you here before. And where are you from? Oh, great. Your first time here. Fantastic. How can I pray for you? Oh, my goodness. This place, I mean, it's not about numbers. Trust me. I don't believe in going for bigger numbers. But this place would, if we had love like that from all of our leaders, we need a bigger boat. In the words of Quint or Brody, right? We need a bigger boat because there would be so many people that I don't know what it is. I might not understand what they're saying up there, but I just know that when I go in there, the people in there genuinely care about me. They made me feel like I was a long-lost brother because we're all philoxenoi. Philoxenoi, right? I actually just came up with that. I'll have to write that one down. Philoxenoi. Let's not be philoxenoying. Let's just love each other. All right? Now, so I am going to unleash you as elders and deacons coming forward to step out of your comfort zone and make sure that nobody just sees you off on the corner on your phone. Or the temptation for a guy like me, I'm a fisherman, and I have plenty of fishing buddies around the church that immediately see each other like, hey, you been fishing this week? Yeah, man, my son caught a tarpon, blah, 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 blah. And then people are coming into the church that need love, the love of Christ. I could talk about fishing at any time, but I choose to do it at the time when I see my friend. But this is really the time when I should be engaging with the body instead of talking about the Miami Dolphins or, Patriots. I saw the hat there. It's okay. Or whatever it is. Shoes, I don't know. Whatever your thing is, this is the time to engage with the body. And if we have a church like that, we're going to have a Christ-centered church, all right?